ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಓಂ ಅಖಂಡಾನಂದ ಸಂಬೋಧಃ ವಂದನಾತ್ ಯಸ್ಯ ಜಾಯತೆ ಗೋವಿಂದಂ ತಮಹಂ ವಂದೇ ಚಿದಾನಂದತನುಂ ಗುರುಂ. So yesterday we had a very beautiful discussion. Guru gave three beautiful examples for superimpositions. Three beautiful examples. The first example where there is desert but there is no water which is superimposed. Okay, desert is real, the water is not real. Okay, in the second example, the conch is real, the yellowness is also real. Okay, the third example, the sky is not real but the blueness is real, the blue is real. Sky is not real. Of course, sky is not real. Sky is not real in the sense you cannot conceive it, you cannot see it perceive it through your sense organs. Avakasha pradhatritvam akashatvam. That is what is the definition for akasha. Akasha means that which gives emptiness, space. That's all. Space is that which gives emptiness, absence. Where is space? Idiot should not say, oh, there. That space is not there. Space starts from the small gap between two sand particles. From there, the space starts. This is all space. Where is blueness here? No. So, the blueness is real. You see blue even irrespective of the space. That's why you are superimposing that color there. Okay. So, there are three beautiful examples through which he established the adhyāsaḥ, superimposition. But still, the disciple wants to be very clear about it because he has a logical brain. He has studied logic, and through his logical brain, he is seeing some discrepancies here, doubts. So he wants to get rid of the doubts because knowledge means there is no doubt. Where there is no doubt, that is what is knowledge. If there is doubt, you cannot call it knowledge. It's seeming knowledge, partial knowledge, not knowledge. So, śiṣyaḥ, disciple asks, pratyagātmanyaviṣaye'nātmādhyāsaḥ kathaṃ prabho. That is the question. So, here there are two questions. We have to understand this. There are two questions. One, the self is not objectified. The self which is not an object. How can you superimpose that self which is not an object, which does not have any similarity with anything else, on something? You understand? Self is not an object. It does not have any similarity with anything. So, how can you superimpose that self on non-self? Okay. Superimposition took place. Let us accept it. Now, how to get rid of this? That is the first question. There are not two. That is not two questions. That is the first question. First question is the self is not objectified. It's not an object. How can you superimpose that self and which is not an object, and how to get rid of it? If at all it is superimposed. Okay. The second question. It's a very interesting question. Very interesting question actually. The samsara, the bondage is because of the upādhi, embodiment. Association with embodiment is the cause for samsara. That is what we established. We said whether it is subtle body, gross body, or causal body, whichever body you are associated with, there is a problem. You are in samsara. Are you sure? Yes, of course. Okay, then please tell me. I am associated with ignorance, avidya. That is my embodiment. I accept it. Ishvara is associated with maya. Avidya and maya are not different, and they are one and the same. There is no point in establishing two different things. What is the result you are going to gain? Nothing. So, end result is useless. So, we accept the avidya and maya to be one and the same. It is two sides of the same coin. Whether you call it head or tail, it's 5 rupees or 10 rupees or 1 euro or 2, whatever it is. Okay, it is only the same coin. So, which way you see is what you call it with different names. That's all. So I am associated with the embodiment called avidya and I am bound. That fellow is associated with the embodiment of Maya and he is free. What is this? In fact, I am associated with the individual avidya. He is associated with the collective avidya, let us suppose, Maya. He should be in more trouble than me. In fact, I should be helping him out. He should not be helping me out. And I have to pray to him for helping me out. So we have to understand, why am I the only person who is bound and not Ishvara? So these are the two questions. Okay. So puro, dṛṣṭe, he is explaining the first question. The first question is the self, which is not an object. How do I superimpose? So he says, hey prabho. That's the sambodhana, vocative. He says, hey prabho, O Lord. Prabhu, hey Lord, O Lord. Aviṣaye pratyagātmani, the pratyagātma, the self, the one's own self, the individual self, which is not an object. See, there is this thing should be understood very clearly. Pratyagātma means one's own self, the self, individual self. Let us, okay. Now, individual self, the self is neither an object nor an subject. Self can neither be object or subject. Subject is a state where exists only when there is object. When there is no object, how can there be subject? Self is neither subject nor object. Okay. Now, this self, which is not an object, nor a subject, not an object, in that anātmanyātmatādhyāsaḥ, how do I superimpose the non-self? The self, which is not an object, I am superimposing the non-self there. This is one side. Puro dṛṣṭe viṣaye'dhyasyanti viṣayāntaram taddṛṣṭe śuktirajjvādau sādṛśyādyanubandhataḥ. He is using a definition which is said in the Brahma Sutra for adhyāsaḥ. He is going to use the same definition in the next verse, next shloka. Puro dṛṣṭe viṣaye. So, paratra pūrvadṛṣṭasyāvabhāsaḥ. That is what he says there. In Brahma Sutra, he says paratra pūrvadṛṣṭāvabhāsaḥ. That is the definition. Okay. Now, we'll see that later. Now, he says, puro dṛṣṭe viṣaye adhyāsyanti viṣayāntaram. taddṛṣṭe śuktirajjvādau sādṛśyādyanubandhataḥ. Beautiful. He says, puraha dṛṣṭe. Puro dṛṣṭe means puraha dṛṣṭe, in front of you, that which is seen. What you see in front of you. Only there, viṣayehi, only in those objects which you see in front of you. Viṣayantaram adhyāsyanti, we superimpose something else. I forgot to tell you. In the next village, there is a rope where the superimposition of snake takes place. And in this side, there is another village where there is mother of pearl, which is superimposed with silver. Can I say like that? Can I even give an example like that? I cannot superimpose something else from somewhere. I have to superimpose only on things which is in front of us, which I can point out to us this. In front of me, this. In this, I superimpose something. So, puraha dṛṣṭe, whatever I see in front of me in that rope, I see superimpose the silver. In the mother of pearl, I superimpose the snake. I do that, right? Wait. In the rope, I superimpose. What do I superimpose in the rope? Rope, I superimpose. Rope, snake. Snake, I superimpose snake. Why is all this confusion? Why should I not superimpose snake on mother of pearl? Superimposition, of course. There is one object, I am superimposing some other object. Right? So, it should be anything else. It need not be, I should not only confine with the mother of pearl silver, the rope, snake. Why should I be confined to that? There is a reason we have to confine. We cannot escape this. Why? He says, adhyāsyanti, śuktirajjvādau dṛṣṭe. These are seen in the objects which are in front of us. Śuktirajjvādau, in the mother of pearl, rope, etc., where you superimpose whatever. Why do I superimpose whatever? That is always superimposed like that. In the rope, I superimpose only the snake. Why? Sādṛśyādyanubandhataḥ. That is the key word. Sādṛśyādyanubandhataḥ. Because of the association with similarities. Anubandha, association. Sādṛśya, similarity. Okay. Anubandha also is annex. So here, association. Because of the association with similarities. Rope has similarities with a snake. In the rope, the size of the rope, the thickness of the rope, the color of the rope is similar to the color, size, and the thickness of the snake. We superimpose one on another. Either rope on snake or snake on rope. Happens. Similarly, mother of pearl on silver or silver on mother of pearl does not really matter, because there is similarity, which is the key for which I superimpose one on another. The point is, if I superimpose mother of pearl on silver, there is no value. What is the use? I'll be loose or not, there will be no use. So here, even if I am superimposing that, it is because there is a similarity between these two objects. That similarity is the key. The logician accepts a pramana called upamana, comparison. Okay, there he uses sādṛśya jnana's karana. The instrument is for that comparison is a sādṛśya jnana, knowledge of similarity. Without the knowledge of similarity, you cannot show a comparison. This oxen is like my cow, because there is similarity between cow and oxen. Okay, so he says sādṛśyayanubandhataḥ tad adhyāsaḥ. Because of the similarities, I see in the object which is in front of me some other object. How do I do that? That is explained with the definition here. Paratra pūrvadṛṣṭasya avabhāsaḥ smṛtilakṣaṇaḥ adhyāsaḥ kathaṃ svāmin bhavedātmanyagocare. Paratra pūrvadṛṣṭasya avabhāsaḥ smṛtilakṣaṇaḥ adhyāsaḥ sa kathaṃ svāmin bhavedātmanyagocare. Pūrvadṛṣṭasya. Pūrvadṛṣṭasya, purva, in front of you. Puraha, purva, all same. In front of you. Dṛṣṭasya, whatever you see. In the object which you see in front of you, on that object, in that object, smṛtilakṣaṇaḥ adhyāsaḥ. This adhyāsa takes place. What is that adhyāsa? An adhyāsa which is smṛtilakṣaṇaḥ adhyāsa. Smṛtilakṣaṇa is not smrti swarupa. Something like smrti. Smṛtilakṣaṇa means something like smrti. Smrti means memory, recollection. I remember something, right? That is smrti. So something like that remembrance or recollection or memory, which is seen, avabhāsaḥ, which is shining in front of me. There is a perception of that. That is what is called as adhyāsa. So what is adhyāsa? In the object in front of me, something similar to my recollection, there is a perception. Smṛtilakṣaṇa. Why does he have to say smṛtilakṣaṇa? Why do you have to interpret smṛtilakṣaṇa as something similar to recollection or memory? Why do I have to say? Let smṛtilakṣaṇa means smrti swarupa. Like in other places, I translate lakṣana as swarupa, means of the nature of smrti. I should have said of the nature of memory. I don't say of the nature of memory. I say that which is similar to the recollection, of not of the nature of, similar to. Why? Let us say, in the rope, I see the snake. Where is the snake? Snake which I have seen in the forest, snake which I have seen in the zoo, snake which I saw in the TV, somewhere, not here. The silver which I saw in the shop, the silver which I saw in the house, etc., that I see. Somewhere else I had seen that, I've experienced that I am going to see here. So that whatever I saw, where is that? It is in my memory. That object in my memory is what I am seeing in front of me. Is it? If I say it is a smrti, it is memory, I cannot see it in front of me. No one sees their memories in front of them, in the object in front of them. They don't see that. So I cannot say it to be smrti. Therefore, I have to say it is akin to smrti. It is similar to smrti. You understand? Now, there is another issue. If I see something else from somewhere here, then that is also called as pratyagātmanyaviṣaye'nātmādhyāsaḥ. Again, a kind of recollection. Like what? Oh, you are that person. Now I see. We do say that. You saw somebody, someone, somewhere, and you see the same person here, but you don't recollect. I've seen you somewhere. Oh, that, right? So that kind of recollection is called as pratyagātmanyaviṣaye'nātmādhyāsaḥ. Now, for that kind of recollection, that person should be here in a different form, but that is not what you are seeing. So, the object is not real here. So, you cannot say, I'm seeing that. The snake is not real. So, I cannot say it is pratyagātmanyaviṣaye'nātmādhyāsaḥ. I'm recollecting that object here. No. So, it cannot be memory, remembrance, or it cannot be recollection. That is why I had to say it is similar to memory, which is as though seen in front of me. That is what is called a superimposition. That which is similar to memory, that which is as though seen in front of me is superimposition. That which is similar to memory, as though seen in front of me is a superimposition. Okay? Now, svāmin agocare atmani kathaṃ bhavet. Oh dear Lord, Swami, oh dear Lord, how can that means that superimposition, how can that superimposition take place in the self? So non-self on self and self on non-self, both are superimpositions. How can that superimposition take place in me, the self, which is not objectified? I cannot superimpose something which is not objectified. I cannot superimpose on something that which is not objectified. Both of these objectifications are impossible. I cannot superimpose self in non-self because self I don't know. I cannot superimpose which I don't know. I cannot superimpose the non-self which I know on self which I don't know. Complicated. That is why in kenopāyena he uses a riddle, beautiful riddle. I have never seen some riddle like that. It's like a koan in Zen Buddhism. This is the riddle. Koan is a riddle in Buddhism, Zen Buddhism. They'll tell a koan, a riddle, and this fellow has to meditate, and suddenly he'll gain satori, knowledge. So that doesn't happen like that. Okay. So let me give you the koan, this riddle. Avijñātam vijānatam vijñātam avijānatam. That is the riddle. The one who knows does not understand. The one who does not know understands. Where do you see such a kind of situation? If I know, I understand. If I don't know, I don't understand. That is how you see in the world. But here he says, if you know, you don't understand. If you don't know, you understand. How is it even possible? Simple. If you know it as an object, you don't understand. If you don't know it as an object, you understand. Simple. The answer is simple, but we can't understand. That is the problem. Right? So he says, how can I superimpose? Okay. Now, nānubhūtaḥ kadāpyātmā anubhutasya vastunaḥ sādṛśyaṃ sidhyati kathaṃ anātmani vilakṣaṇe na anubhūtaḥ kadāpi ātmā ananubhūtasya vastunaḥ sādṛśyaṃ sidhyati kathaṃ anātmani vilakṣaṇe. So now after explaining the basis for his doubt, he is putting the doubt proper. This is the doubt. Atma kadāpi nānubhūtaḥ. The self is never experienced. The self is not. If I experience the self, why will I be such an idiot to superimpose it on something else and search for it? It is like the example which we give in Tamil Nadu. We have a common example. Oh, I will bring the husk from my house. You bring the fried rice or fried chana, fried dal, fried lentil from your house. We'll mix it and then we'll blow the husk and we'll eat it. If I have this fried chana, fried lentil, why don't we enjoy the fried lentil directly? Why should we mix it with husk and blow it and all that? Why? What is the reason? That kind of stupidity is what this is. If you say, I know the self, then why do you mix it with non-self? So he says, Atma kadāpi nānubhūtaḥ. The self is never experienced. Okay. Ananubhūtaḥ vastunaḥ sādṛśyaṃ anātmani kathaṃ sidhyati. Ananubhūtasya vastunaḥ. That which is not experienced, the self, that which is not experienced, never experienced. For that, how can you have similarity? How can you have the knowledge of similarity with the non-self? Why not? Because the non-self is a vilakṣaṇe, entirely different from the self. In Brahma Sutra, it says, tamah prakāśavat viruddha svāvayo. It is like darkness and light. It is completely, entirely different. There is nothing common in between them. Nothing common in between them. So how can there be superimposition between these two? There is one problem, I don't know the self. The other problem, there is no possibility of any similarity. Even if I know the self, there is no possibility of any similarity. So how can there be a superimposition there? So, anātmanyātmatādhyāsaḥ kathaṃ samāgataḥ nivṛttiḥ kathaṃ etasya kenopāyena sidhyati. He comes to the conclusion of this first question. He says, anātmani ātmatādhyāsaḥ kathaṃ samāgataḥ nivṛttiḥ kathaṃ etasya kenopāyena sidhyati. Anātmani, in the non-self, yesha ātmatādhyāsaḥ, this superimposition of the self, in this non-self, this superimposition of the self, kathaṃ samāgataḥ, how did it come into existence? How did it happen? Etasya nivṛttiḥ kathaṃ. How to get rid of this superimposition? Somehow it happened. So now what? Okay, how do I get rid of it? Meaning, kenopāyena sidhyati. Through what method do I get rid of this? What is the methodology? What is the means? Please tell me that. That is the first question. Now, second question. Upādhiyoga. So he is establishing all the groundwork and then he is putting the question. Okay. Now that question is done. So how through what means do I get rid of that? That is answer. That is asked. Now he is putting the second question. Upādhiyoga ubhayoḥ sama eva isha jivayoḥ jivasyeva kathaṃ bandhah neshvarasyāsti tat kathaṃ. Upādhiyogah ubhayoḥ samah eva isha jivayoḥ jivasyeva kathaṃ bandhah na ishvarasya asti tat kathaṃ. Isha jivayoḥ ubhayoḥ, Ishvara and Jiva, both of them, ubhayoḥ, both of them, for both of them, upādhiyoge sameva. The association with the embodiment is same. Like I am associated with my embodiment of avidya, he is also associated with his embodiment of maya. They are same. In this situation, jiva seva bandhah katham. How is only Jiva be getting bound? Ishvarasya tad kathaṃ nasti. How is Ishvara, that bondage doesn't exist in Ishvara? How am I the only person who is suffering, not the Ishvara? एतत् सर्वं दया दृष्ट्या करामलकवत् स्फुटं प्रतिपादय सर्वत्र श्रीगुरो करुणानिधे. एतत् सर्वं दया दृष्ट्या करामलकवत् स्फुटं प्रतिपादय सर्वत्र श्रीगुरो करुणानिधे. Now he is asking, he is completing the question, so he is using two vocatives. He Karunanidhe, Nidhi repository. Karuna, compassion. Oh, one who is a repository of compassion. Hey Shri Guru. Two vocatives. Now he is asking. Daya dṛṣṭya. He has used vocatives. Now, through that vision of compassion, daya dṛṣṭya, daya, compassion, dṛṣṭi, vision. Through that vision of compassion, you please, etat sarvam karamalakavat sputam, pratipadaya. Please establish, pratipadaya, please establish to me, etat sarvam, all this sputam, clearly, kara amalakavat. The word kara amalakavat can be understood in two ways. Kara amalakavat means like the gooseberry in your hand. Kara means hand, amalaka means a gooseberry. Like the gooseberry in the hand, like a cherry in the hand. Kara amalakavati, if you break it. Amalaka means water, like water in your hand. Meaning you don't need any other proof to understand that it's water or it is a gooseberry. Similarly, make it very clear. Sputam pratipadya. Establish it to me clearly. Okay, did I not establish it clearly? Of course, sarvatra, he is adding one adjective to it. Sarvatra pratipadaya. Everywhere established. Established everywhere. What does that mean? Sarvatra means everywhere. Establish it everywhere. What does that really mean? Everywhere means in all the situations, in all the possibilities of doubt. Clearly means there should be no possibility of any doubt there. That is what clearly means. So please establish it to me very clearly so that I don't get any kind of doubt in future in any parts of your explanation. Sarvatra means in any parts, in all the parts. Explain to me clearly in all the parts, in all the situations. Hey Guru. And now Guru is answering in the next 14 shlokas. We will see this. Om Purnamadaḥ Purnamidam Purnāt Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavaṣiṣyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.